On January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, a child was born who would change the course of American history. Martin Luther King Jr., originally named Michael, entered a world divided by racial segregation and injustice. Early years. Bullet point 1. Young Martin grew up in a loving family, but he couldn't escape the harsh realities of segregation. At just 6 years old, he lost a white playmate when the boy's parents decided they could no longer play together due to racial differences. This early experience with prejudice left a lasting impact on King. Education and spiritual growth. Bullet point 2. Despite facing discrimination, King excelled academically. At age 15, he entered Morehouse College where he discovered his calling to the ministry. His journey continued at Crozer Theological Seminary and later at Boston University, where he earned his Ph.D. in systematic theology. The Montgomery Bus Boycott. Bullet point 3. In 1955, King's leadership in the civil rights movement began with the Montgomery Bus Boycott. His powerful oratory and unwavering commitment to nonviolent resistance inspired the black community to boycott segregated buses for 381 days, leading to a Supreme Court ruling that desegregated Montgomery's public transportation. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Bullet point 4. Building on this success, King co-founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference in 1957. This organization became the driving force behind many civil rights campaigns across the South. Nonviolent resistance. Bullet point 5. King's philosophy of nonviolent resistance, inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, became the cornerstone of the civil rights movement. He led peaceful protests, sit-ins, and marches, facing arrest and violent opposition but never wavering from his principles. The March on Washington. Bullet point 6. In 1963, King delivered his most famous speech, "I Have a Dream," at the March on Washington. His words electrified the nation and crystallized the hopes of the civil rights movement. Nobel Peace Prize. Bullet point 7. King's tireless efforts for equality were recognized globally when he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, making him the youngest recipient at that time. Expanding the movement. Bullet point 8. As the 1960s progressed, King broadened his focus to include economic justice and opposition to the Vietnam War. He understood that racial equality was intrinsically linked to economic opportunity and peace. Tragic end and lasting legacy. Bullet point 9. On April 4, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, Martin Luther King Jr.'s life was cut short by an assassin's bullet, but his dream did not die with him. Conclusion. King's legacy lives on in the continued struggle for equality and justice. His vision of a world where people are judged not by the color of their skin but by the content of their character continues to inspire generations. Today, we remember Martin Luther King Jr., not just as a civil rights leader, but as a visionary who changed America and inspired the world. His dream remains a beacon of hope for all who strive for justice and equality. To learn more about important figures in the world, go to Bullet Point History. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical narratives.